Hello and welcome to the CITE View. My name is Leslie Moyo. September is Deaf Awareness Month, a time where we look at sign language rights. And from the 23rd to the 28th of September is the International Week of the Deaf, where we highlight some of the challenges that this community faces. I'm joined in the studio to talk more about the Deaf Awareness Month. I'm joined by Mr. Trever Moyo from the Association of the Deaf, and he's with Mr. Tatenda Mthombeni, who is a sign language interpreter. Welcome to the program.
Welcome. I'm here.
All right, maybe let's start by looking at language barriers and maybe access to services for the deaf community.
Problem, deaf community. The deaf community, some of them are hard of hearing. And remember, we're in a Deaf Awareness Month. So the communication becomes a very big barrier for us as the deaf community. Remember, I've got our deaf culture, and we don't have any organization to do with the deafs.
Maybe let's look at services, or maybe essential services like you want healthcare and justice. What are some of the challenges in terms of access to information and access to services, especially for the deaf community?
To begin with, in hospitals, there are many plenty of people there who don't know sign language. They are employed people. They can communicate, but we don't have any sign language interpreters there. So we want them to learn sign language as well. That's our main challenge that we have.
And what can be done really to solve this challenge, especially at public institutions like government offices or hospitals or even schools?
Okay, we have to train people that know sign language. But in schools, the deaf people work there. It's okay. We've got an university that we have, but now there's no sign language there that is being offered. The professional sign language is the challenge. And number two, discussing with someone who is, maybe you meet your boss, you meet someone with authority. It's very difficult for me to, or for us to discuss with some people and in the therapy people, we can go there, but there's no sign language interpreters there. There are many, just to mention a few.
It seems like it's a really big challenge. Let's look at this year's theme in terms of the International Week of the Deaf. It says no human rights without sign language rights. Maybe let's speak more to that in terms of your own interpretation of what this theme is talking about.
The deaf harmonious theme has got the culture to do with the deaf. It's either with religion, the police, the schools, any organization that is to do with the government. They don't know as I'm talking, they don't know even up to now, there's the deaf awareness. They just hide it, but want to be the same.
Maybe let's talk about, maybe let's move and talk about education, how inclusive education, especially for deaf learners, how is it being implemented in Zimbabwe? Do we have inclusive learning, or we still have specialized schools where it's only for the deaf learners only?
Thank you very much. We don't have any inclusive education up to now, but that teaches very fluent sign language. Of course, if it's school for the deaf, but the sign language there. We've got people that are hearing and the deaf, but it becomes difficult for us to be equilibrium. So we want to support our culture. So please, the government should help us then become oneness in terms of sign language.
And are they reading materials like maybe sign language dictionaries? Are they easily available, especially if maybe there are people who want to learn sign language?
The dictionary sign language we have given by we haven't given by the government, which are all sufficient for everyone, but we are trying to look for ourselves. And those books are not readily available.
Maybe let's come now to public offices like parliament, council, or even government offices, the key decision making. Do we have equal or representation, especially for the deaf community?
The problem is, I've never been to parliament before, but now I think as for us, the deaf community, the hearing impaired, it's been difficult for us to communicate using English, because the language that they use at parliament is very complex English, that so much such that if we don't even attend, they've been calling many people at the parliament. Then you read their books. You can read either their pamphlets. And I agree that there are few people that have been graduated through the university that are hard of hearing.
And what is the long-term impact of that, especially looking at you say that there are few people who have graduated from university. What can our local universities do to ensure that members of the deaf community are also access quality tertiary education?
University, I agree. All universities, they don't know sign language. I think they are suppressing us. And we don't have equal opportunity to be the same with hearing people. We'll have to go through learning. But we don't have sign language interpreters there. There are no interpreters. I wish to be there, but now the communication barrier in terms of sign language. So it's important for us to have sign language interpreters.
How can the media also maybe play a key role in ensuring that people understand the sign language rights?
Oh, thank you very much. It's true that everyone wants to see what's happening in the social media platforms. And regardless for our Deaf Awareness Month, so we want to continue. But the problem is we must communicate with the government and understand where we don't understand. And remember the whole world, we are sharing the same theme about the Deaf Awareness Month. So we have to respect that. We don't want that separation. We are all the same.
All right, then let's look at the Constitution. It recognizes sign language as one of the official languages in Zimbabwe. Do you feel that it is being implemented in practice?
The deaf people and the hearing people, they don't encourage each other. There's no jobs. There are no teachers who are influent sign language. The hospital, public people don't know sign language interpreters. Becomes difficult for us. Remember, our English different from them. So it's a bit disturbing for us.
Then in closing, what are some of the challenges that we are facing, especially when it comes to maybe disasters or crises? We just come out of COVID-19. What are some of the challenges that the deaf community faced during those times?
The COVID-19, we didn't understand anything about what's happening. Up to the extent where people are putting on masks, I was just seated back and relaxed. Later on, then, we should understand what's happening. Okay, there's a disease here. Oh, okay. Well, the doctors are so much concerned about us. So as the deaf community, we just seated and relaxed. We didn't know anything about the COVID-19. So indeed, we need someone to interpret for us.
Maybe as we end our discussion today, I also want you to be empowered. Maybe you can just teach me a few basics in terms of sign language. How do I say hello? How do I say my name is Leslie?
So this is how hello is. H, E, L, L, O. This is how we sign hello. Hello.
Yeah. So I say H,
E, L,
L, O, then
sign
hello. Okay. All right, thank you so much to Mr. Trever Moyo from the Association of the Deaf, as well as Tatenda Mthombeni, who's the sign language interpreter. We're talking about some of the challenges that the deaf community are facing. Remember, September is the Deaf Awareness Month. There's also the International Week of the Deaf. It comes in from the 22nd of September right up to the 28th of September. We're highlighting some of the challenges that they're facing in terms of access to critical services like your health, like your justice. And Mr. Trever was speaking about the challenges that they're facing, especially when it comes to education, saying that even in tertiary education, they're having challenges in terms of access to quality education because of the lack of sign language teachers as well as sign language interpreters. Hopefully this month you will also take time to learn a bit of sign language so that we are able to communicate with some of our citizens who are hard of hearing. Let's meet again in the next edition of the CITE View. My name is Leslie Moyo. Goodbye for now.